Do you think that Iran has a positive role to play at these talks now?
Well, if the problem in Syria is going to be solved, and if the killing is going to have to be a way for Iran to play some kind of positive role, and that might not be today, tomorrow, next week, or next month, but over time, Iran's position is going to have to shift, and it's going to have to meet other parties, including the US, Saudi Arabia, and others in the middle, because right now, nobody's getting anything that they want in Syria. The problem continues to get worse. In order for it to get better and for the killing to stop, compromises are going to need to be made, and positive actions are going to need to be taken by Iran and all other actors around the table.
Do you think that it might have to be Iran that in the end tells President Assad his time is up, better coming from a friend than an enemy?
It's a great question. I think Iran is going to be one of the critical actors, but Iran cannot make that decision unilaterally. I think the Russians and other actors are going to have a stake in this as well. And let's not forget, Syrians inside of Syria are going to have a stake in it as well. So Iran is one important voice, but there are other voices as well. And it again highlights this point that there's no single actor that can enforce their preferred solution or outcome to solve this problem. It's genuinely going to require compromise.
What do you think Iran would want in return for playing a role in bringing about the end to conflict in Syria?
That's a great question. That's the million-dollar question. At the end of the day, I think Iran is like any other country. It would want to have its cake and eat it too. If it could keep Assad and turn back the clock 4 or 5 years ago, that would be ideal, but it's also not realistic. So I think what they're hoping for above all else is to essentially have Assadism in Syria without Assad. Some kind of power-sharing structure that brings in moderate elements of the opposition. But above all else, Iran wants to maintain Syria as a strategic bridge into Lebanon, because Lebanon more generally and Hezbollah more specifically is Iran's priority.
Reza Marashi, very good to speak to you from Washington.